Under Qatari law, you have the right to keep your own passport and your employer must return it once any paperwork has been completed.
Good morning, my people. How are you doing? VicSeezzo here once again. So today I want to tell you 3 reasons why you should choose Qatar over the other Middle East countries like Dubai, Kuwait, Oman, Jordan, Abu Dhabi, all those. Why should you choose Qatar? Why should you choose to work and live in Qatar as an employee? Qatar has the best laws for all employees. So today I'll fix for you some videos here. Just watch them from point A to Z. Just watch all of them, and if you are already in Qatar, just watch them to know your rights and things that some employers don't tell you. So just watch till the end, subscribe, share, because I know this information is crucial. See ya. Enjoy.
The standard working week in Qatar is 48 hours. This means 8 hours a day, 6 days a week. You have the right to a weekly paid rest day. This is usually Friday, although for shift workers it may vary. All workers should have at least 1 hour's break a day. But this and the time spent traveling to and from your workplace are not counted as part of your working hours. During Ramadan, the standard working day is reduced to 6 hours. You can do up to 2 hours overtime a day. For overtime hours, you should receive your basic wage plus a minimum of 25% extra. If you work between 9 p.m. and 3 a.m., you should be paid your basic wage plus a minimum of 50%, unless you are a shift worker. And should you agree to work on your rest day, you must be paid the usual wage plus an increase of at least 150%. You should also be given another day off in compensation. If you need help or more information, contact the Ministry of Administrative Development, Labor and Social Affairs. If you are working in Qatar, there are a number of important documents that you must take good care of. Your employer may need your passport when you start work to issue or renew your Qatar ID card. However, under Qatari law, you have the right to keep your own passport and your employer must return it once any paperwork has been completed. Your employer will obtain a Qatar ID card for you. Your employer must not charge you for this and should renew it for you if it expires. As your salary will be paid once a month into your bank account, your employer must also provide you with an ATM card to withdraw money. Your employer cannot hold this for you. Keep it safe and do not share the code with anyone or let anyone else use it. You must receive a copy of your contract signed by both you and your employer. Your employer should also provide you with a hospital card at no cost so that you can receive medical treatment. These are your documents. Your employer must provide you with somewhere to lock them up. Make sure to keep them safe. If you need help or more information, contact the Ministry of Administrative Development, Labor and Social Affairs.
If you are employed by a family in Qatar to work in a home, you have both rights and responsibilities. These are listed in Law 15 of 2017, known as the Domestic Workers Law. It's important that you understand these rights and responsibilities and know where to go for help and advice should you need it. It is important to remember that you should not pay any fees and costs to find a job. The recruitment agent cannot demand any payment from you, and your employer cannot deduct money from your monthly salary as repayment for the cost of recruitment. You and your employer must sign an employment contract before starting work. If you're in a country where there is a Qatar visa centre, you should sign an electronic contract before coming to Qatar. It's important that you understand your contract. Ask a friend to help explain it if necessary. You must receive a copy of your signed employment contract. Make sure to keep it safe. Take a photograph or give a copy to a friend so it can't get lost. You have the right to keep your own passport. Your employer may need your passport when you start work to issue or renew your Qatar ID card, but they must return it once any paperwork has been completed. In the home, your employer must provide you with a suitable room and food. You cannot be charged for this or have money deducted from your salary to pay for it. Your contract should state your monthly salary. You have the right to be paid the amount stated in your contract every month or by the third day of the following month at the latest. You should not work more than 10 hours a day. But remember that this does not include breaks for worship, rest, or to eat. You have the right to a paid full day off once a week. On your day off, it is your right to total rest from work unless you have agreed to work on that day. At the start of your contract, talk with your employer if you want to spend your day off outside the house. If you feel sick, tell your employer straight away. They are responsible to provide and pay for any medical care you may need. Your employer should also obtain a health card for you at no cost to yourself. Every year, you're entitled to 3 weeks of paid leave. Discuss with your employer when and where you want to take the leave. If you don't use all your annual leave, you can carry it forward to the following year.
After working with your employer for 2 years, you have the right to receive a return air ticket to go back to your country. If you want to leave the country, you are free to do so at any time. However, you should inform your employer about your plans at least 72 hours in advance. You can do this verbally or in writing.
At the end of your contract, you also have the right to end-of-service benefits if you've worked more than 1 full year. This is calculated as 3 weeks' pay for each year of service. It's important to remember that you have the right to terminate your contract. You can do this if your employer does not honour the contract or the law, if your employer or recruitment agent misleads you about the terms of your contract, if your employer or any member of their family hurts you physically, or if the workplace is dangerous and threatens your life or health. But don't forget that the employer can also terminate your employment if you do not carry out your work as agreed in the contract, or if you violate the law.
Everyone who works in Qatar must have an employment contract. A contract is an important legal document that states the rights and duties of both you and your employer. Read the contract carefully and make sure you understand it before signing. Ask a friend to help explain if necessary. Always make sure that the content in the contract is the same as the employment offer you may have received. If there is a Qatar visa center in your country, you should sign your contract at the center before your departure. Your contract should include this important information: your details, name, educational qualifications, nationality, the name of the employer, and the place of work. When and where the contract was signed. When the contract starts and ends. The type of work you will be doing. The agreed salary and benefits, such as accommodation and food. The contract may also include a probation period. This cannot be longer than 6 months, or 3 months if you work for a family as a domestic worker. Make sure the contract you receive is signed by the employer and has an official government stamp. Look after it carefully. It's a good idea to take a photo for safekeeping. If you need help or more information, contact the Ministry of Administrative Development, Labor and Social Affairs. Remember, you have rights, and we are here to help you.
Thanks for watching up to this stage, guys. I hope you learned something. See you next time. Peace out. Subscribe.